you had indicated earlier that you weren't going to be doing similar for the judicial nomination element.
That won't be raising money for them?
Well, you suggest you wouldn't be doing, you'd be basically doing other things, I think is the way you phrased it.
Well, I'll vote for it because I think it's better than it is now. But I've been very open and upfront about the fact that I think the system we have now appointing judges is the best way. But that's not what's on the ballot. I do think that what we're doing now is against the Constitution when it says judges shall be elected by qualified voters of the state. They should be elected by qualified voters of the state. So that needs to be taken out. If I had designed this amendment and worked toward this amendment, it probably wouldn't be exactly like it is right now. I do think I'm giving up some of the legislative powers to the gubernatorial power. But will I vote for it in the end? Yes, because I do think what we're doing now is unconstitutional.
You don't think the legislature has more power given that they can reject nominees, especially if in some distant day a Democrat is in the governor's office?
You could look at it that way, but see right now as speaker, speaking personally about this, I get 8 nominations to the Judicial Nominating Commission. Speaker of the House gets 8 nominations. So we help control or at least set in place the 3 names that are sent to the governor. And so I'll be honest, I've been very active in that to make sure that we have good conservative judges that want to interpret the law and not make the law. And I think if you look at the judges that have come through our Judicial Nominating Commission the last couple of years in particular, and last year in particular, I think they've been very good, qualified people. And before, while we're on that subject, the selection commission that was there before the nominating commission actually played games with this. We all know this, that Jimmy Nafee would pick out the one he wanted and send 1 good ones and 2 bad ones. Well, I don't do that. I've sent up 3 good ones, and for example, when the last appellate court was there, or next to last now, I suppose, Mike Falk was on that panel, but there were 2 other people with him, and he ended up not getting that one. He ended up getting another one later on. So we've sent 3 good people to the governor every time.
If Tennessee voters reject the constitutional amendment on judicial selection, would you support any legislation like that would make it the law of the land what the Constitution says, that Supreme Court and appellate judges need to be elected?
You know, as I said before, I've gone through a statewide election. I know what it takes to run those campaigns. Really, all you're doing is raising money for the whole time. That's not something that I feel the judges needed to do, so I don't think that's the best way of doing it. I think if that would fail on the ballot, I'd work toward another way of making what we're doing now constitutional.
The constitutional amendment sort of leaves open whether there should be a judicial evaluation commission. It just says retention elections, and that's in wind down now. Do you anticipate renewing that?
I do.
Okay.
I think that's something I really want to do when we come back in. Of course, the governor renewed it, but just by executive order, and now
No. That's the nominating commission.
I'm talking about the Performance Evaluation Commission.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was not listening closely.
Well, I was going to ask the other one too.
Okay, so I was not listening closely. We're talking about this one. I'm sorry. You got the JPEG and the other one, but I think both will be reinstituted, but it'll be done in a different fashion. Even though I think for the first time in the history of the Performance Evaluation Commission did just reject 3 candidates that they felt weren't doing their job. Well, that's what they're supposed to be doing. I understand there's a campaign now to maybe put one of those others back on. I don't agree with that. Why was he not good week before last, and then they get 10 phone calls and suddenly he's good again? And so just do your job, evaluate logically and fairly as I think they did when they went through there, and don't let political pressure force you to put somebody back.
When you said you would like to see all 3 of those judges depart?
Yeah, yes, I would like, absolutely. Because they know that if the Performance Evaluation Commission says they aren't doing their job, let me assure you, they aren't doing their job. Because it takes a lot for them to say no. As a matter of fact, I think these are the first 3 that were rejected in the history of the Performance Evaluation Commission. So yes, I'd like to see all 3 of them. Well, I don't. Let's put it this way: they'll have to be able. If they don't resign, they'd be in a contested election, and if I had the opportunity to vote for them, I would vote no.
On the nominating commission, when you said that we sent up quality nominations, did you lobby the commission to send up particular people?
There were times that I talked to my commissioners and said, I think these are qualified people. Make up your own mind. Yes, I I'd be less than honest if I didn't call say I served with Mike Falk. He's a good, honest guy, hard-working legislator, great guy. I think he'd make a great judge. Rob Montgomery in my area has been friends of mine literally since about high school. Talk about a great guy and a good, honest, family man, great judge. Yes, if they would ask my opinion, I would tell. Even sometimes when they didn't ask my opinion, yes, I would tell. But I just obviously I didn't get a vote. But I wasn't bashful about telling somebody when I thought they were a good judge. I don't see anything wrong with that. And in both cases, well, Mike Falk took 2 times, but the judge agreed with me. And I do think, honestly, that the first time around it was appellate court. You don't start in the major leagues. Mike had never been a lower court judge either. I think he'd been an excellent appellate court judge. When you looked at the qualification of the 3 that went up, the governor made the right choice there too.